All right, so another thing to think about to help you guys find sources, possible sources, or at least to get a better idea of what you might focus on in your topic, is to do general web searches. So this is something that we read about in one of the readings from last week, right, on going down the rabbit hole, and that was what that activity was, the practice session, right, part one, drilling down, where you looked for the different you researched the theorist Ellen Dissanayake to practice this drilling down, right? So one thing to help with that is to just look at some reputable online publications, just news sources. So I've included a list of some good ones, pretty reputable, and many of these were included in the list for the short response essay that you did near the beginning of the semester. So many of these should look familiar to you. So you could click on the source and it will take you to the actual publication. So again, you can go ahead and peruse through the headlines, see if there's anything that's connecting to the topic you're researching. But also you might choose to use the search function in that particular online publication. So you could type that in and see if there are any sources that focus on that. So as you're doing this, this is, these days it can be a little difficult to determine how accurate or credible a piece of information is, especially when fake news and misleading information is rampant on the internet. So in order to figure out the validity or the credibility of a particular source, we want to practice what we call triangulation. So when we triangulate something, it means that we find three different points to help locate something. So this is used in navigation a lot, but it's also, we're using it metaphorically here. So we want to find at least three different sources that can corroborate that information. So say I find something in the Atlantic, just to verify, I want to look at a couple of other sources to see. So maybe I'll take a look at The Economist, or maybe I'll take a look at the Wall Street Journal or Politico or NPR to see if I can find an article that can verify or corroborate the information found in the first source, right? So that's a good way to verify something's accurate, but also to make sure something's not overly biased or misleading or just outright lies or fake, right? Some other sources that are really good to help determine the accuracy of something. There are three sources in this list that I want to highlight. The first one is fact check. So if you click on factcheck.org, this is a great source that fact checks just different statements by different figures in the news, ranging from politics or just celebrities or whatever the case is, and you can kind of read through and see if perhaps there's something written on an idea or statement that you're trying to verify, right? Um, let's see. Another good one is PolitiFact. So this one, of course, focuses more on politics. And what's really helpful about this particular one, let's wait for this to load up. You see they give some kind of rating over here. So in this case, whatever this is, they rated it half true. And so there might be some information in there that is correct, but some other information that's incorrect, so it's kind of half true. You can scroll down and see, okay, this one they rated it pants on fire. So whatever this is, they are saying it's just outright false. So in this case, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez did not make this statement. That's just, it's something being propagated as fake news. It's not real. This one is false. So you can kind of go through and see and just look at it. Now, another thing to think about, or just to keep in mind, these are nonpartisan websites, so they're not trying to skew one way or the other politically. They really are just trying to fact check information. So that's a good source to look at. And then a third one to look at is Snopes. And they do a very similar thing. They fact check information just to make sure that it's correct. So you can kind of search through, and you can also Snopes. You can ask them to fact check things, and then they'll go ahead and fact check it if they have enough people who want to. Or yeah, so these are good things to help you do that practice of triangulating, making sure that something is indeed accurate. All right, y'all.